Mercy, Iowa City has served the residents of Johnson County and southeast Iowa for decades. And serving alongside Mercy's physicians and staff members are volunteers. Volunteers enrich the experience of patients and family members from admission to waiting areas to patient care areas and home again.
Mercy's mission is to heal and comfort the sick and work with others to improve the health of the community. The Guild members help us fulfill our mission by providing time, resources, money, and talents. And they work and assist the hospital employees in multiple areas, the front desk, the gift shop, multiple waiting areas. And they really do add that essential ingredient that we think of here at Mercy.
The story of Mercy Volunteers begins in April 1962 with the founding of the Mercy Hospital Guild. The Guild began as a small group of dedicated women who wanted to help support the hospital and patients.
The Guild got its start at the Elks Club in Iowa City. My husband and I were at the Elks for dinner, and another couple sat down beside us, and we visited, and the lady was very vivacious. She said, "Does your hospital have a guild?" And I said, "No, we don't." And she got started telling me about her guild in Des Moines. Her name was Jan Mitchell, and she was the one who really got this thing going. So we called friends, and it was in the paper, a picture of the ladies who wanted to get involved in this. And from then on, we just grew.
It went on from there. And finally, they organized it as the Guild.
By June, there were 30 new members, and the Guild was launched.
Well, what to me is really stunning about the Guild over the course of its 50-year history is the hundreds and probably thousands of people who have come together as volunteers to provide services to patients and families, visitors and staff here at Mercy, but also to raise funds that have been used in so many ways. 50 years, I mean, truly that is a remarkable, remarkable history.
Today, the Mercy Hospital Guild and volunteer services have grown to include more than 24 different services that include much patient contact. The services are always evolving as the needs of the hospital change. At the present time, the gift shop, guest lodging, vending, the Bridge Marathon, and the Angel of Mercy Christmas ornaments generate the funds that the Guild donates.
I think volunteers are enormously important to Mercy. I think that probably most people that come into the hospital don't even realize it, but they are touched by a volunteer in some way or another. Whether it's because they've stopped at the information desk and gotten information, or maybe had a patient escort volunteer take them up to their room, or maybe gotten a warm blanket while they were in the emergency room from one of our emergency room volunteers. Even new parents who go home with a little bonnet on their baby's head, those were all made by volunteers. And I think it's so subtle that people don't always realize that they have been touched by a volunteer while they've been here.
They started a mail service, and I was on the first mail service, and that was the only service they had for a little while.
My favorite service of all time was taking baby pictures, of course. I mean, there's nothing that was quite as enjoyable as that.
The people that I work with in the endoscopy area are super. The nurses are all very friendly, and they really appreciate the help.
One of my favorite places to volunteer is the information desk. And every day I meet wonderful people.
Cancer care, of course, the people in there are receiving their chemo. I do normal tidying up around the department, but I spend a lot of time just sitting and talking with them on everything except their health. I enjoy people. I love to listen to people.
One distinctive tradition of the Mercy Hospital Guild is the Angel of Mercy, a Christmas ornament handcrafted by volunteers and sold during the holidays.
I started with the Angels of Mercy when a friend asked me to come to her. That's when we were doing it in the home. And it was just such a joy. And I just really look forward to the challenge of on the assembly line working with it. And we have so much fun. And we do feel good about doing what we do because the profit all goes back into the hospital, and that's important.
Back in the early 80s, they were the ones who initially funded a program called Buckle Up Baby, when car seats were a brand new concept. And they were the first hospital, I believe, in Iowa to make car seats available so that all newborn babies could go home safely strapped into a newborn car seat. So that was really a pioneering effort.
One of my favorite things about being involved in the hospital is being involved with our guest lodging. In 1995, we opened the guest lodging that we currently have. We have 15 rooms, and it's available for patients or patients' loved ones. If they don't want to leave the hospital, if they're from out of town, we have wonderful services here for them to be available. They can come and just stay the night, they can stay extended periods of time.
One of the biggest projects has been the hospice unit on Mercy North. It's 6 rooms for patients in need of hospice care, and it's very, very popular, and hear so many compliments and thank yous, and people are just so happy to have that service.
The gift shop is really important to the hospital because it services the needs of the people working here and the people waiting in the waiting room, and it's a great escape for people.
I really enjoy all the people that I work with, and all the people that come into the gift shop to do their shopping.
In addition to providing direct service to patients and the hospital, the Mercy Hospital Guild is a powerful fundraiser. From a modest beginning, the financial support to the foundation has grown steadily. In 2012, the Guild's total donation over the last 50 years has reached $2.5 million.
The Guild has been valuable to Mercy Hospital. The fundraising has made a huge impact, and it came up in the meetings, and nobody knew how to do it, so we organized a bake sale. And it was down on College Street in front of a paint store, and we had this little card table where everybody baked something, and it went off well. I think we made $50 or something like that. And there was another way that I remember distinctly. Margaret made a beautiful Christmas tree skirt, and we had a raffle for it, and one of the nurses at the hospital won it, which was really nice. And then we had dances, about 3 or 4 big balls, lots of different things.
The Guild is actually the largest annual donor to the Mercy Hospital Foundation. Very often they were the first ones to fund something that was new, and the Guild was the pioneer who started the Health Career Scholarship Fund that we have about 10 years ago. And these are scholarships that are awarded to high school seniors who are graduating from high schools in Mercy's 10-county service area who intend to major in a health career in college. And so we are able to provide these awards, and the Guild consistently gives to that fund every single year. Another one was a very significant financial contribution for the first dedicated mammography suite that Mercy had, so they saw that as a need. And today, the Guild funds tote bags filled with things to be helpful to women who are newly diagnosed with breast cancer, so they have been consistent supporters of women's health care services here at Mercy.
We're giving a $20,000 endowment to a named scholarship this year as our 50th anniversary gift.
The Mercy Guild's purpose is actually twofold. Their purpose is to provide leadership for the volunteer services, and then also to do some fundraising for the hospital. Not only do they provide the service aspect, but we also raise a lot of money that goes to perhaps buy instruments for the OR, or a big project such as remodeling our hospice unit or remodeling the guest lodging unit, or even little things like just chairs in the patient rooms. They have such an impact on the hospital. And again, I think people don't realize that all that the Mercy Guild does and all that they support throughout the hospital.
Wherever you might find yourself in the hospital, the Mercy Guild's handprint is there, always striving to make our patients safer and healthier, our families comfortable, our employees efficient and effective, and our community secure.
The importance of the Guild to the hospital is an organized approach to providing those volunteer services and providing fundraising and other benefits that, again, feed back to the patient and visitor or family experience. And being a member of a group like that is very meaningful because it's very service-oriented, and it's a way to give back to others.
When I came to the University of Iowa back in 2008, I was looking for a way to get involved, and I had always been interested in healthcare. And so I decided, I should try volunteering at a hospital in order to decide whether medicine's a path I should take. And I had met some people through student organizations on campus, and they had really positive volunteer experiences at Mercy Hospital.
I think that volunteers are really essential pieces to hospitals and the community in general. I think volunteers are kind of a reminder to people in the hospital that members of the community have an innate desire to help one another. So by volunteering, we show that we really care about one another in the community, and we're willing to give a hand and to provide like a support network for others who might need help. Seeing other volunteers and kind of chatting with them as I'm on duty, I know that a lot of volunteers here who are older do have a lot to share and are enthusiastic about the hospital, and it's just kind of infectious, their passion for helping other people in the hospital, and it just makes you want to come back again and be another helpful face. For young adults who might be starting to volunteer at the hospital, I would just encourage them to be more open and to kind of realize the fact that they're young and they have a lot to give to the community. I think providing that kind of youth in this hospital can be refreshing.
I think that volunteers, by and large, are people with a big heart, number one. People come to volunteer for various reasons. Our college students come because they want an experience. They're thinking about going into medicine or nursing or something like that, and they want that experience of being in the hospital. I think our retired volunteers, or people that are a little bit older, come because they have had an interesting life, they've retired now, but they still want to remain active and give back to the community. And I think that's one of the reasons that they choose Mercy. They tend to be really compassionate and kind people that really want to help others. And so I think that's probably a common characteristic of the people that we have as our volunteers.
The volunteers are important because it gives people an opportunity to work with Mercy and make Mercy a part of their lives when they aren't sick.
I became a Mercy volunteer because of my mother, who had been one for years, and in her later life she was unable to drive anymore, and so I was taking her every place, and she still knitted the baby caps. She just cranked them out by the dozens, and I would go pick them up and bring them up here and take more yarn to her. And then after she died, I thought, somebody needs to take her place, so I decided it would be me.
By coming in and volunteering, we increase our sense of participation in community. It's a great experience to be able to come down to Mercy and help Mercy.
I started mainly because my mother was one of the original members of Mercy Guild, and she so enjoyed it that she got me interested in it.
The attitude that we project is one of caring. That, I think, is one of the things that's most important, is the feeling that people get when they come to Mercy, that they really are being cared for and that we care. It's not so much what I get out of it, it's the feeling that I have when I come here. I think it shows when we ask people what they think of Mercy. I think a great deal of it comes back to the fact that they feel comfortable, they feel like family, they feel like someone has cared enough to make the effort.
They are the face in the gift shop. They are the face of the hospital. They're the first people you see. They're the ones you meet when you come in. So they're everywhere.
People have an opportunity to feel that Mercy is a part of the community by giving their time. And it's funny, the more you give, the more you seem to enjoy giving.
I think I really and truly probably have the best job in this whole hospital. I've said that for years, and I truly mean that because, number one, I get to work with people who want to be here. They choose to be here. And so it's wonderful to be able to work with people who are 14 years old up till their 90s. I think that our volunteers, again, they're a fun group of people. They're interesting. They come from a variety of backgrounds. Every day is different for me. I can't ask for a better job. I think I truly, truly have the best job in this whole place.
I like to volunteer because I just thoroughly enjoy it.
It is absolutely fulfilling work. I find it so rewarding.
I enjoy working with all the volunteers.
I believe I get more out of it than I give. Absolutely.
I haven't met one yet that was not fun to work with.
You meet all kinds of interesting people, and you work with good people. It's one of those things that another thing I don't want to give up until I have to.
What I like about it is that it gives me a chance to pay back.
If you've got the time, certainly Mercy needs you.
Wherever we were needed, we were there.
There's so many outlets, and there's always room for more volunteers.
Give it a try because you'll find it fulfills your life and gives you something to look forward to the next day.
I would say that the Guild members are the Angels of Mercy.
The Guild is led by a board of directors consisting of elected officers and service or committee chairpersons. Membership offers a chance to grow in many ways, in friendships, new skills, and leadership opportunities, not to mention the personal reward of contributing to the community. If you would like to give your time and talent, we welcome you to work with us to improve the health and well-being of our community. Just give Mercy Hospital a call.